Hi, welcome back to Togetherness Media. My name is Zahira. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Happy Saturday to you guys. I don't even know sometimes which day it is because we've been stuck in this quarantine. So happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great day. To bring you guys into talking about when our thoughts attack us and how do we deal with that. We have all been, I'm sure, through feeling in our thoughts or feeling like our thoughts can attack us in some way and bring us down into kind of this hole with ourselves, or just trying to really understand where our thoughts come from and why. So the question that I want to challenge today is, how do we deal with that when that happens to us, when our thoughts tend to attack us? Sometimes, I feel that we can be our biggest enemy with ourselves. Our mind is, our mind can be like a playground. You begin to have all these thoughts and all these things that, all these scenarios or things that you have in your mind that you can actually turn into a reality, whether it's a positive thought or whether it's a negative thought or just some things that you are personally going through in your life. So I want us to talk about today, how can we overcome that when we do get in that position? Because I think that for all of us, it's easier said than done, right? So the biggest thing is that when we are in that situation, the first thing that we have to think about or maybe reflect on is, before you have a thought of something, there has to be a feeling. So you feel inside of you. There's this feeling, whether it's, personal, or, even if you're, say, for example, you're scrolling through something on social media, or you just see someone is doing something in their life and you start comparing yourself to other people. We have all been through that before. I have been personally through that before. I'm sure all of you guys have been through a situation in your life where, maybe you have compared yourself a little bit to people, whether it's a close friend or if it's someone that you do see online. Media is such a big platform, and there is so much influence through social media. And sometimes, it can be taken for positive and it can be taken, with negative. It's just depending on how you choose to look at it, how you feel about it. And to me, it is kind of like a double-edged sword. I've caught myself before scrolling through people's feeds, or, dealing with some people in my life, some friends or some family, comparing myself, wondering, like, is this where I should be in my life? Am I supposed to be somewhere else right now in my life? Or why is this person, look, this person is doing something that works for them. Why isn't it working for me? And I begin to get stuck with those thoughts in my head, and it overwhelms me, and I feel like, I start to question my own self. And that's what I mean by feeling like we can be our biggest, we can either be our biggest fan or we can be our biggest enemy. It's us. It's us that can determine that. It's us that can say to ourselves, no, you're growing, you're doing the best thing that you can right now for yourself in your life. Or, yeah, you're not where you need to be right now exactly in this point, but you're going to get there, and you're going to get there in your own way. We all have our own paths carved out for us in our life. No matter what your beliefs are or what you feel, everyone has a path carved out for them. And it's not the same path as everyone else. We all have different paths. And I feel that we begin to sometimes take a different path, or feel that we need to create a different map for ourselves to go down a different path, because we begin to get stuck in those thoughts and say to ourselves, is this what I'm doing is right? Am I surrounding myself with the right people? Am I in the right relationship? Your thoughts can really really change the way that you feel. They can change the way that you think, can change the way that you act with everything in your life, every aspect of your life. And, sometimes we don't understand completely why we think the way they do. You can go wake up in the morning and be in such a great mood. And then 5-10 minutes later, you can feel like down again, or feel frustrated, or feel like, I'm not having a good day today. I don't feel good about myself. Why don't I feel good about myself? Is it because I just, maybe I checked my phone and looked at something and saw that someone is, traveling and doing all these things, or, this person's making a lot of money. The fact that everyone has done this, where we have compared ourselves and we have made each other feel like we need to keep reaching this new level, and not in a way of challenging yourself in a positive way, but it's because when we become stuck in our thoughts, and when our thoughts tend to attack us and we get trapped in those thoughts, it's like, it's like when you plant a seed. And when you plant a seed, you have to plant that seed before it can become a flower. You can't look and say before you plant that seed that, oh, I want the flower to look this way. I want it to be a pink color, or I want it to be yellow. You don't know that. It depends on how you water your seed and you plant your seed. It all starts from that. And that's kind of how our mind works as well. Our mind, we can, connect with ourselves in a way. And again, I'm going back to saying that no matter what you believe in, the first thing that you should do to kind of help, and in a way that we can overcome our thoughts when we do feel attacked, is connecting with something. Whether or not, whatever it is that you feel like you can connect with. Every day, every morning, that should be the first thing you do. Just close your eyes for 5 minutes and connect with yourself and understand yourself, and be in that moment. Be in that moment of your thoughts and your feelings, and don't look at your phone. Don't look at any social media. And this is personally something that I've been doing for myself, and I think that you guys would really benefit from doing this. When you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone. If you set your alarm, whatever, shut your alarm off. Don't look at your phone down, put it to the side. Spend time with yourself. Whether it's closing your eyes and meditating, whether it's reading, whether it's writing, or just being silent and, doing whatever it is that you need to do. Just give yourself that time, because you deserve that. You deserve that time for you. It's honestly such a great feeling when you do feel you can be one with yourself and one with your thoughts. And it doesn't happen overnight. This takes time to get to that point of having that self-awareness, and to understand why you're feeling this way and why you're thinking this way. And what is it that I can do? Ask yourself, what is it that I can do to better myself? I'm trying that with myself. I'm asking myself that question every day. I don't have all the answers. I still don't know everything. And that's the beauty of being in this life and understanding yourself. It's a learning experience, and it's stages of things that you go through every day to understand that, to unlock that. It's like unlocking a treasure chest. It's a journey to get to that point. I want to share with you guys, recently I have been reading this book. It's a phenomenal book. I want to share it with you. It is called Don't Be Sad. I've recently been reading this book for the past 2 weeks. It's about like 470 pages, and it's a book that I highly recommend to anybody. It's not based on any religious preferences or anything like that. So it's something that anybody could, read and really, really connect with. The book talks about all of the trials and everything that we face throughout our lifetime in different stages of our life. Because again, when you're going through different circumstances, it's different times. So it's not always going to be the same. Your thoughts are not always going to be the same. Your thoughts are always changing. Your feelings are always changing. You're always thinking of something different. So I want to share with you something that when I was reading this book, it really talked about casting off your anxieties, things that are out of our control, things that we can't control. How do we let go of it without thinking about it all the time or fixating our entire day on it all the time? Say if you're going through a bad relationship, or you're going through a hard time at work, or you're going through a hard time just being at home, or just in your life, like I said, you're not feeling where you're not understanding why you're at this point in your life, and how can you get better, and how can you advance and improve from that. So some of the different topics, it talks about a lot of different things: casting off your anxiety, pausing to reflect. And I've been talking about that a lot in the past few episodes of the podcast, was really about self-reflection and self-awareness, and how we can reach that point by reflecting within ourselves. We can get to that point of self-actualization and realizing that, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, this is how I feel. And being honest with your thoughts and being honest with your feelings, and understanding how to just deal with it in a positive way. Because I think that whenever we feel bad about something, or whenever we feel overcome with a bad feeling in our mind, or we feel that we just don't feel good, some days you just have those days where you just don't feel good. You feel upset, or you feel a little bit unhappy with something, and it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to admit to yourself, I feel really tired, or I feel really overwhelmed, and I feel really stressed out. I feel like sometimes we are not always honest, even with our own thoughts. We try to make ourselves feel like, oh, no, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to keep doing what I usually do, and, just keep distracting myself with everything that I do, and everything is going to be fine. The thought is going to be gone. It's not going to be there anymore. The biggest thing that you can do to overcome yourself, and to overcome the anxiety of when your thoughts attack you, is confront it with yourself, and say to yourself, okay, why am I having this thought? Why am I thinking this right now? I'm not going to run away from it this time. I'm not going to throw it under the table. I'm going to figure out, why am I thinking this way, and how can I change it? What can I do to get myself through it? And whatever it is, even if you have to go through different things to try, if, say, maybe reading doesn't work for you, or writing doesn't work for you, or maybe going for a walk doesn't work for you, do something where you can get in touch with yourself, your heart, your mind, everything. Connect both of those together, because sometimes our mind can just create so much more scenarios than there needs to be, and it can play a trick on us. Our brain is very powerful. We can, like I said, we can use it for positive, or we could use it for negative. There was, I remember when I was really young, we did this like test in our class, and it was like a placebo kind of effect, to just see how our minds work, to see how we can convince ourselves of something. So I don't know if you guys have ever, maybe gone through this, or maybe did this before, but it was we were given an experiment and an example of one group taking like a vitamin, and the other was taking a gummy, and we had to see which one felt the most energetic. They felt the most happy and felt the most energized. And I still remember that to this day. I was about 13 when we did this, and I still remember it to this day because I really took something away from that, more than I thought that I did, but it stayed in my mind. And it was funny because the group that had the gummy, not the vitamin, they said that they felt the most energetic and they felt happier. Now, our professor, she never told us which group had what. She just, she gave the variables like A or B. So it was funny because at the end of that, when that happened, it was the group that had the gummies, not the one with the vitamin, that felt the most happy and energetic. And I think it's because, they, like I said, our minds, it convinces us. It convinces us of how to feel and how to think and how to respond. So when that group thought that they had it, they felt like, oh my gosh, the vitamin is like doing so much for me. I'm feeling so much happier. I'm feeling so much more positive. I feel so energetic. When really there was no vitamin. It was just the gummy. But the brain made us feel and perceive it in that way, to think, oh my gosh, this is really helping me. So that sent that signal like, oh, this is helping me. This is making me feel better. So the one thing that I feel is a really big takeaway from honestly understanding how to deal with your thoughts when they attack you is to confront it, to talk about it with yourself. Sometimes, maybe you might feel you don't want to talk to anyone about it. You just want to be by yourself. Sometimes I feel that way where, there's certain things that I want to talk about with what's, the important people in my life, the close people to me in my life. And sometimes I just want to be alone with myself and get in touch with my own spiritual connection and be on my own with it, and to really understand and think it through and to overcome it and not run away from it. One more thing I want to share with you as well, actually a few more, is when we go through this stage with ourselves where our thoughts are attacking us or we feel really overwhelmed with ourselves. In this book, another thing that really connected with me and stood out to me was, it said, don't be sad. Learn to deal with your reality. Something so simple, something so simple for us to understand, to just deal with the reality. And it's okay. It's okay to just say, I don't feel good right now where I am at in my life. How can I change that? How can I better myself? How can I stop comparing myself to other people? We are all at a different place in our lives, mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And it's not fair. It's not fair to even put yourself in a same category as somebody else, because we all have our own paths carved out for us. And we can't, just because something or a certain way or doing something to help others, maybe that's working out for that person. Maybe whatever someone else is, whether they're close to you in your life or they're a stranger that you see online, or there's someone and you see that what they're doing is working for them, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you, because that's not how your path was carved out. That's not how your path was laid out. We all have our own path, and we have to stay on it. No matter how bumpy, no matter how hard it gets, there is a reason why we are on that path, and it's going to take us somewhere good. It's not going to be a smooth sailing, because if it was all smooth, by the time that you get to the end of that journey, where you reach everything that you put in and everything that you sacrificed, are you going to enjoy it? Are you going to appreciate it? Are you going to understand how I got here, why I got here, and what I had to do to get here? So when I was reading that in my book, don't be sad, learn to deal with your reality, it even said that there are many lessons that we can learn from being in a down point in our life. And sometimes when we're at that lowest point, in our life is where we really, really understand who we are. So sometimes it's okay to be in that spot in your life where you do feel like it's maybe the lowest point of your life, and you don't feel like there's any more chance of going up from there. Usually a lot of people, when they do feel like that in their life, is when they get their greatest inspiration and they overcome their biggest obstacles and their biggest fears. So if you're feeling like that today, and you're feeling really down, or you're feeling just not happy with the things that are going on in your life, or maybe the people in your life, or you just want to be somewhere different in your life, that's okay. That's okay to feel like that. Acknowledge that you feel that way and that you feel upset and you don't feel the happiest in your life, but know this, that it's going to be okay. You're going to get through it. You are going to overcome it, and you are going to be the best person ever from it. You will become, your mind will shape, your thoughts will shift, because when you're in that lowest point, there's really no other point that you can go, right? There's really nothing else that can come hit you and come to your way and say, okay, this is making me feel even worse. You've hit that point where you feel like, okay, this is it. This keeps happening to me, or this thought keeps happening to me, or I just don't feel good. Now what do? You can only go up from there. You can only go up. You cannot go any more down. You're going to keep going up, and you're going to skyrocket and go all the way up to the top. One more thing that I really want to leave off with is I want to talk about the days that rotate in bringing good and bad. So what I love about this book too, so you guys can see, I don't know if you can see super clear, but each section of the book, there's something different that it talks about and that it leads into. So it's really relatable. It's relatable to anybody, whether you are in high school, college, or, a little bit older. Every situation that this book will take you through too, it's so helpful, and it really helps you learn your own ways of reflection and getting better. But this was a topic that really stood to me because our days do rotate, good and bad. As I was saying before, we have those really good days, then we have those good days, and then we have those really, really, really bad days where we just feel just down and we just feel upset with ourselves and we just don't feel good. So what you can do is, when you're going through that, you remember what makes you feel good, what brings you to your happy place, what makes you feel the best in your own self and the best in your own element. Whether it's, like I said, it's being by yourself, or it's just going for a drive, or doing something, clear your mind. But you have to understand that you have to conquer those thoughts that are attacking you in order for you to move on and be the best person that you were created, that you were made to be. You have to overcome that. And some of the personal things, maybe this would resonate with you or make you feel a little bit better. But the past few days I've been saying that I really enjoy writing. I really love writing. When I write, I feel so relieved. That's my outlet of expression, especially when I am going through a bad thought, or I just feel thoughts are really attacking me and filling my head and making me feel anxious. Writing for me is such an awesome outlet, and I really encourage you guys, if you haven't, really been into the whole writing thing, or it's not really something that you enjoy, just try it. Just do it. Maybe try writing a little bit every day, something, and keep it to yourself, too. Like, keep it as your private journal. So like, if say, you feel upset with someone, or someone made you mad and you're just like, oh, you made me so frustrated, but I can't tell you exactly what I'm feeling because I don't know if you're going to come, if you're going to come talk to me again, or if you're going to like what I have to say. But write it down. Write down those feelings, write down how you feel, because I guarantee you it will help you be able to communicate how you feel with, say, if it's with somebody or if it's just with yourself, that communication between yourself or between with other people, it's going to help you and benefit you so much. You will feel such a great relief off your shoulders. Every time I write or if I meditate, I feel so relieved. Like I just took everything that was just on top of my shoulders and overwhelming me, and I just let it go. Because you can't stress about things that you can't control. And sometimes that happens to us. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And you know what? Once you overcome it, it's going to happen again. But it's how you face it and how you conquer it is what matters. It's how you get over it and how you choose to overcome it. So when you feel like you just don't know what to do in that time, just close your eyes and breathe and think about why you're feeling the way you are, and ask yourself, can I change it? Do I need to keep harping on it or keep putting myself in a position to feel stuck, like you can't do something? Our minds, like I said, they can either really, really help us or sometimes can put us in a bad situation or make us just feel completely trapped. It's up to you to overcome that. And you can. It's inside of all of us. We all have it. It's our inner strength, our inner being. We can overcome anything. But we have to remove those thoughts from our mind. There was a time in my life where I felt like I was starting to compare myself a little bit to other people and to other people's journeys. And I felt like, okay, maybe if I do this, it'll work out for me the same as it's working out for the other person. And that began to become a thought in my mind, and it was beginning to attack me because I felt like, my mind would be telling me and saying, having this talk inside, this self-talk, saying, oh, you should be doing this, or, maybe you should be doing better. Are you supposed to be, in this spot right now, at this point right now in your life? Don't you think you should be like doing something even more? Look at the other people around you. And that was something that began to take over my mind a little bit. And it made me feel like I started comparing myself a lot, and I had to be at this certain point because other people around me were, maybe getting the recognition that I wanted, or maybe getting, the places that they needed to be. But it was to a point where I was beginning to just feel really lost in my mind and with my thoughts. And I think that's something that we can all relate to, because we've all been through something like that before, where we have compared ourselves to, to other people, or we just felt like we needed to be more in the place that we are in our life. And that's not the case. Everything takes time, and everyone has their own path carved out for themselves. And in order for us to navigate through that and to really find ourselves and to really become strong and to overcome those thoughts that attack us, we have to understand that it's okay where we are right now. If you accept that it's okay where you are right now, and to understand why, you already made the first step. Without you even realizing it, you already made the first step. When I did that with myself and understanding that I had to stop doing that we all have our own time, that was my first step, because I discovered it. I had that discovery within myself where I knew, stop it. You have to stop that. You already are doing so much. You already are doing so amazing. You know, the stuff that you're going through or anything that's bringing you down, you're already going through it, you're acknowledging it, and you already made that first step by knowing that why am I feeling this way? Why is this feeling has turned into a thought? So you have to change the way your feelings are, because that will change your thoughts. So by you taking that first step to understand, okay, this is where I'm at. It's okay where I'm at because it's for a reason. I'm in this point where I'm at for a reason, and now I'm ready to go and start that path to get where I need to be, to get where I was made to be, what was meant for me to be. So I just want to leave you guys with that, because I think that will really help you with overcoming those thoughts when they attack you, because you already developed that self-awareness and that self-actualization and that self-realization. You realized it. So that now that you've realized it, you've unlocked it and you're already on your way. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please go to togethernessmedia.com. Follow us at Togetherness Media. Please let us know what you want us to talk about next. Drop a comment below. Let us know. We would love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much.
Do you have viruses or malware warnings? Have a problem with your computer and need help? 24 hours, 7 days. Computer Emergency Services. Convenience and savings at your fingertips. Download our free app and keep in touch.
At Hello Hollywood, we bring you the best in entertainment, fashion, movies, hit music, gossip, and live from the red carpet reporting. Hello Hollywood is your new choice.
Hello Hollywood.
Hollywood news, Hollywood gossip, upcoming movies, top 10 music, hot news from Hollywood. We have a special report from special events, red carpets, fashion, parties from the heart of Hollywood in Hello Hollywood.
To sponsor this show or for advertising inquiries, call 310-738-7309.
Hello Hollywood.
Hello Hollywood Productions. 310-738-7309.
Hello Hollywood.
I'm here with Wendy.
Hello everyone, it's Emmy season.
One of Hollywood's most famous bachelors is getting married again.
The moment we were all waiting for on Dancing with the Stars.
Oops, she's did it again. No, we're not talking about Britney Spears. Kim Kardashian.
Marriage boot camp.
A tragic end for a treasured comedian and actor.
Robin Williams has died at the age of 63.
And I will be bringing you all the hottest news in entertainment.
Hollywood Walk of Fame, make room for another star.
This is Tatiana McBride for Fashion in LA, and you're watching Hello Hollywood TV.
In this segment, I want to talk to you about the latest trends. I know you want to know, and we all want to know.
Here's LA's top fashion stories.
It's a human story, mystery, drama, all wrapped in one masterpiece.
Lawrence was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in American Hustle.
Whiplash is about a young man
Did Affleck kill her? Is she somehow involved?
Now let's take a look at some Oscar red carpet moments in Hollywood.
This is your host, Franny B, with hit music on Hello Hollywood TV.
It's such a good song. I mean, it's talking about how, you know...
Hello Hollywood.
Here on Hollywood Gossip on Hello Hollywood, we talk about today's gossip, which could be tomorrow's news.
This is Hello Hollywood TV.
I don't know who that is, but we are going to find out, and hopefully on a reality show.
So I know we all heard about Mr. Justin Bieber.
Stay tuned next time for more breaking entertainment news.